Why, hello there. Welcome back. I hope you're ready for another great week uh, at your school, I suppose. So let's take a look at what I'm asking you to do for social studies this week. You will notice there are four folders there, plus a fifth folder that says virtual field trip for Friday. Yes, sadly, we do know that this upcoming Friday, the 15th, is when we would have typically taken our field trip to DC. So in lieu of that, a bunch of the teachers at the middle school have actually put something together for you, but I'll get to that in a moment. For Monday, once again, I have a video here for you. This week we're talking about the progressive era, where a lot of people noticed things in society that people didn't really like, and they really tried to make the public aware of it and make the government actually change that. So listen to that. There will be a discussion post for you guys to participate in as well. Hey, keep up the good work with those. You're doing actually really well, really well. Just kind of answering some basic questions or what are your thoughts on those topics. For Tuesday, I would like you to get ready for the online class on Wednesday. So one of the big famous examples from the progressive era of some of the muckraking that is going on is this one book called The Jungle. Now, The Jungle is originally written to showcase the problems and issues that the poor lower classes were dealing with at the turn of the century. However, it becomes very, very notable, and people get really, really upset by it because it shows how the meatpacking industry specifically was operating. So I have a couple of excerpts from you that I'd like you to read. They are something else. There's some questions there that I want you to be aware of because Wednesday I'm going to ask you when we do our online meeting to discuss them. It's really what our online class is going to be there. So make sure you read that at least before we meet. Thursday, I have other examples of issues that came up during this progressive era. I used the term muckrakers earlier. Muckrakers were reporters who were quote unquote raking the muck, kind of bringing up these dirty issues so the public would be aware of them. And some of them we have down here. And I have the links following as well if you need those, if it's not showing up. But we have a couple here. Honestly, maybe look at two or three of these. What we're going to end up doing next week is I'm actually going to ask you to be muckrakers yourselves. So try to find maybe an issue that worries you or interests you, and we'll go from there. I'll have further information on that on Wednesday, so don't stress out. But just to give you some examples, first we have the Triangle Shirtwaist Fire, which happened in New York. It's a fire, and it's not a great one. We have some photography showing human conditions, especially with the poor there. The photographer there is by the name of Jacob Reese. Moving along, I wish I knew why these are all pixelated like this, but we looked at the Standard Oil Company a little bit last week when it came to John D. Rockefeller and our robber barons and such. Here we have the muckraker that took that company down with Ida Tarbell. And just for some interesting context, especially in this turn of the century, we had children working, children that were younger than y'all. So here we have examples of some of the pictures that were taken that really made the popular angry. So again, maybe watch two or three of these. I don't have any discussion posts there or anything like that, but just to give you some context of what's going on. And then finally, like I described Friday, I'm going to not do the typical journals like we have been. Instead, here are some instructions. We have put together as a social studies department, first grade, a virtual field trip for Washington, D.C. So here are the instructions here on how to get there. Down below, you may notice, woo, there's an extra credit opportunity. So just create some sort of reflection on what you quote unquote did during our virtual field trip. So what is in the virtual field trip? Hey, and by the way, extra credit, be as creative as you want with this. It can be a written reflection, blog, um, a collage of pictures or anything else. Have fun with this. Impress me. But again, it's extra credit. It is not mandatory there. But what are you going to be looking at? So first and foremost, we did put up a quote unquote itinerary. On in the middle there, you have what we would typically have done. So hey, this is a 5:30 wake up. Get to the school really, really early. Guess what? Since we're online this week, you can actually just stay in bed and sleep. So that's cool. Typically, then what? We have a nice long bus ride. It's about 3 hours long. Maybe watch a movie. So hey, when you wake up, just watch whatever movie you want. You know, it's all good. Instead of being able um, to actually go to the museums and everything else, though, what we've asked a bunch of the other teachers to do, and not just myself, but also teachers on your team and the teachers throughout the middle school. Maybe you'll see some faces from years ago. We've asked them to record what their favorite places in DC are. So hopefully there's some faces there that you recognize. I will say Mr. Goadstone did a pretty quality job, so enjoy that one. And of course, as we get closer and closer, we do have the wonderful barrage of social studies teachers there as well. Mr. Truex does lay down some simple bus rules for you guys. And also, hey, I don't know what movie to watch on this bus trip. These are typically the cases of movies, but again, hey, watch whatever you want. It's all good. And again, and then exploring DC virtually, Mr. Odilla did an excellent job putting some instructions together there. So again, for extra credit, I'm looking, what did you quote unquote do for your virtual field trip? Again, have fun with this, be as creative as you want. And yeah, of course, we're always really sorry that we couldn't have a natural field trip this year. But just kind of see what's going on. Hey, once again, I hope you all are doing great and staying safe. I hope to see you soon. Um, Obviously not out of school, but yes. Hey, have a great day. Talk to you later.